I would like to now request a United Nations Watch to take the floor.
主席先生，我是
Mr. President, I'm Jianli from China, as advisor of United Nations Watch. First of all, I'd like to put a question that the Communist Party of China Authority has a qualification to represent China.
We have a point of order.
Mr. Vice President, the Chinese delegation has reason to believe that the capacity of this person, speaker, he is not a member of UN Watch, is using the disguised name of the NGO and muddling through and into the meeting, into the conference. And this has seriously affected the reputation seriously of Council and should be firmly opposed to. We advise the President to stop his qualification to speak and credentials and ask Secretariat to verify his qualifications, credentials. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
I have been informed that the speaker has been accredited by United Nations Watch in accordance with established rules. A letter of accreditation was received duly signed by the authorized representative of the NGO, authorizing this individual to represent the NGO. Nonetheless, I would invite him to note that his question regarding the representation from China is not relevant to this session. You may continue.
From 1949, the Communist Party of China put in theory of class struggle through the land reform and the reform and the anti-rights is the great leap forward in cultural revolution, crackdown Falun Gong, democratic parties, and the OA Charter movement. Millions of people have died. The Communist Party of China used a cult of worship, abolish.
Order again, please.
Mr. Vice President, this NGO representative is speaking on matters irrelevant with the subject of discussion at the moment of the meeting. In accordance with the rules procedure of the Council, the Chinese side like the President to rule against his speaking by this representative. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
I would like to invite the speaker to observe that his comments have to be related to the subject of this meeting. You may continue.
So that China will return to the road of personal dictatorship and also to control speech and cracking down on activists and on Chechens in Xinjiang, on Tibet, and high-handedness and in big cities to drive out so-called low people has caused resentment, and the space of freedom has been squeezed. Because time limit, I cannot list the cases. I will just end my speech with the question: the countries in violation of UDHR, any qualification
is point of order. Point of order.
Mr. Vice President, this representative of the NGOs, his statement nothing to do with the VDPA. Chinese side asked the President to terminate the qualification of his speaking at this meeting. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. Speaker, please return to the subject of the VDPA. You may complete your intervention.
The authority in total disregard of UDHR against the UN human rights. Any qualification to represent China? Thank you, everybody.
Much. You are not entitled to question the qualifications of a national representative. I would like to now invite China. China, please take the floor.
副主席先生，
有关反华分子
Mr. Vice President, some anti-China people use the name of NGO or under the guise of NGO for the purpose of for the anti-China political motive, make a vicious attack against China. They make lies, and to this, the Chinese government resolutely reject. China's political system and path of development is chosen by the people and by history. It is wholeheartedly supported by the people. Under the leadership of China's Communist Party, China has achieved remarkable progress, which is witnessed by people all around the world. This cannot be denied by anyone. The Chinese government, based on constitution and law, fully respect and guarantee the legitimate rights of all the Chinese citizens. We urge relevant organizations not to use Human Rights Council to carry out political attacks with ulterior motives. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you very much, China.